video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
I'm KJ Wright from the Seattle Seahawks, and you are watching NorbFam.
This is Walter Jones, Pro Football Hall of Famer, top 100.
Tyler Lockett from the Seattle Seahawks.
DK Metcalf from
Hey, Burleson, you're watching NorbFam.
You're watching NorbFam.
What's happening, everybody? This is NorbCam coming at you with the post-game show, victory show here, and getting your calls because I want to hear from you guys what you think about this performance today and our, I guess, chances moving forward, because this division is, while we got the win today, the division is still ever so tight, which is why it was so important to get that win today. So I want to hear from you guys. The phone number is here on the screen. You just enter that phone number, 202-926-1076, and then enter the code 696153. I want to hear from you guys and see what you thought of all this and our team moving forward. It's a good spot to be in for sure. But before I do that, I just want to do a shout out again to the sponsor of this video, BetUS, the folks at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. If you haven't already checked it out, do so. And if you decide to sign up, just use that code YouTube150 and you'll get a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit. That's free money to play with. And then 125% on your second and third deposits up to $2,000. So a lot of fun. Just make sure it's legal in your area, avoid where prohibited, and please gamble responsibly. All right. So again, this game was so important. And it looked really good. I mean, this game, when you just look at the way the scores sort of went, I mean, it was a great game offensively here. Seattle, if you look at the scoreboard up on top there, just starting off 17 points early in the first quarter. We rarely get that kind of strong starting output. And then the touchdown in the second. And then a couple field goals to wrap it up. I'd like to have had a stronger second half finish, but the fact that we had those two interceptions by the defense that set up such a great opportunity for the offense to get ahead really kind of set the game up for, to win this one really so early in the game. It was nice to see, but again, strong game again by the defense, but really. Charbonnet with his over 100 yards of rushing in this game. The running game was on point, especially in the first half. Second half, it kind of cooled down a little bit, but the first half, man, we were just doing everything we wanted to do. Gino was throwing the ball well. Of course, Jason Myers getting his kicks in, as he has been doing all year. And, yeah, it was just an all-around really solid game by the Seahawks. One of their best victories to date, and it just keeps on stacking up, fourth in a row, which is that right? Fourth in a row? It's just amazing. So, yeah, a lot to be excited about this in this game. Again, if you want to chime in and give me your thoughts on this game, do so. Just call the number and enter the code down below. And, yeah, I'll get to you guys' call here, but let me just go through some of the comments here. Sky Blade is in here. What's up? We got Blaze, what's happening? Mr. Easy, CZ with yes, Blaze, good game. Baseball 44, what's up? I think you want to say Born. No, it says Norb. It comes up as Born in the autocorrect. Let's go Hawks. Seattle Spots Mania. Yeah, the doggone Rams won. Yusuf, what's happening? How you doing? Excited that we got the win, of course. Joey Del Rosario, great game from Charbonnet, absolutely. Jade, Uma celebrating with Thai food. That sounds pretty good. I'm actually getting pretty hungry here, so I'm going to definitely get some food in me after this call-in session. Rosie, we're going to the Super Bowl. Well, I like to think we have a shot. We got still a lot of work to do, but we're on the rise, which is great to see. Wayne Fort scoring on picks was critical, absolutely. Yeah, Blaze, I'm getting to you. In a second. Gino was playing solid, no turnovers again. Making throws when he had to. Little penalties got a little ugly in the second half, but other than that, I didn't have too much to complain about. Against a team that was desperate, the Cardinals now find themselves, they're second this week and now bottom of the pack probably tomorrow, or as it is right now. Paul Hanna, Rams have New York Jets and Carolina and Seattle left. Yeah, definitely Rams have the advantage of a easy schedule for the rest of the way. We've got Green Bay next week, at home at least, Vikings at home, and then we got to play the Bears in Chicago, and then that Rams game. We just want that Rams game to mean something. Hopefully it's not meaning too much, but it's definitely too early to count our chickens before they hatch, for sure. Yes, the next 4 games will be critical. You know what's great about this, guys, is that the fact that, and a shout out to Mary Lou, the fact that we have these games meaning something. You just want to be playing relevant, meaningful games in December. And we've been playing them really since last month. So it's been like we've been in the playoffs for, it's going to be like a 2-month playoffs atmosphere before the playoffs even begin. And you got to feel pretty good about that. The fact that all these games mean something and they're winning them. And what more can you ask for, right? I mean, you just want a shot. And right now they just control their own destiny. It's going to be the ultimate test the next 2 weeks for sure. 1 game at a time, but they had to get this one as things just keep shifting and tightening up in this always unpredictable, challenging NFC West. But feeling pretty good about it. Feeling great about it. So let's go to the phone lines right here, and let me get on the horn with our first caller. Let's get from the 360. It says Kaysen, but I'm not sure if that's who we're actually talking to. Let's find out here. Kaysen, is this Kaysen for the 360? Oh, they turn on my volume here. There we go. Kaysen, is this you?
Yep.
Oh, Kaysen, what's happening? Where are you from?
I'm from Washington.
Yeah, what part? You're up north, I take it.
Like Bellingham area.
Close to the border, up north in Washington.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, well, what'd you think? Great game today. Any thoughts about our team at this point?
At this point, I'd say I think we would be rolling into the playoffs really well here. But this schedule is going to be rough, and I hope we can make it through.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. We're playing 2 of the toughest teams in the North, and really the whole NFC North is just really good, except for Chicago. The NFC North is they're all like playoff-bound teams at this point. We got the Packers, who did suffer a loss this past week, but the Vikings getting another one, so you got double-digit wins on that side. So this game against the Packers is ultra huge, really. To set the table and try to make each of these games meaningful. But I don't know, what's your outlook? We got 4, where is it? This is our schedule remaining, right? It's right there. It's we got 4 games. We got Packers at home, Vikings at home, and then we've got the Bears on the road and the Rams on the road. So, sitting here at 8-5, what do you think our final record is going to be with 4 games left?
I think it's going to be 10-7. I think we're going to go 2-2 in these final 4 games.
Losing
I think we're
to the
gonna
Packers and the Vikings, and then winning the other 2?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, that's kind of what I predicted way before the season started. So what's crazy is that I'm pretty close. I've had a few games go one way and the other, but I'm pretty close to where I figured we were going to finish out with this season. I kind of at the record I thought we would be right now. But I also gave ourselves beating the Packers and the Vikings. So, and then actually at the time I thought we would lose the last 2. So I had the opposite of what you're saying way back in August, late August, early September, when I thought the Chicago Bears were going to be a much more competitive team. But man, 10-7 might just be good enough to get into the playoffs. But pretty much, as we all know, you've got to win the division to make the playoffs, because there's probably not going to be any wild card teams coming from here. So, yeah, will it be good enough? We'll find out. But man, the Bills didn't do us any favors, and neither did the Bears. So instead of gaining ground, we just sort of kept our distance from those from the Rams and the 49ers as they kept pace with us today. So didn't gain ground on them, but we didn't lose any either. So it's going to make things interesting. What more can you ask for, right? Who would you say is who was your player of the game today?
I say that amazing Charbonnet run for a touchdown from I think it was 38 yards.
I was like 51. It was like a 51-yard touchdown run, that long run that he had. And really,
Wow.
I agree, that was a great run. And he just had a great game, period. I mean, we haven't had a 100-yard rushing game in so long as a team, less by one individual. He did, we did both, obviously. But what made that run possible was the JSN catch after Gino was hit while throwing the football. The ball kind of lost velocity, and JSN somehow was able to scoop the ball up before it hit the ground and pull that thing off his shoe tops and get the first down that set up, I believe, that run. So JSN had another big game. Wasn't a ton of yards like he's had in some of these other games, but man, he just seemed like he was clutch whenever we needed to get something. And more you're seeing it's kind of sad because Tyler Lockett's role is diminishing so much. You barely see him get catches these days, and we had a chance to see him get a touchdown, and still close to hauling that in. But JSN is obviously becoming the possession receiver, the go-to guy who, when you need to get a play, he's the one. But DK in there making some good plays as well. And it's really the combination of the two, because if you leave DK alone, you risk the deep threat. And if you pay more attention to DK, you leave JSN and as well as other receivers too. But yeah, it was just overall a great game. And Gino, I thought did fantastic. So so Charbonnet, you gave Charbonnet's the nod as the player of the game. Not a bad choice. All right, well, feeling pretty good. It's a good win for Seattle. So thanks for calling. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, of course. See you, Norb.
All right, take care. Let's go to Susan in Reno. Susan, you are on. Is this Susan?
Yeah, hi, Norb.
Oh, hello, Susan. It's good to hear from you again.
I know. I didn't think you recognized my voice.
Well, I hadn't heard your voice yet, but I do keep a log of callers who call in, and I try to make note of the numbers and the phones and the names and everything. Yeah. So I had you down noticed before. So, but yes, it is good to hear your lovely voice again. So how did you feel about watching this game today?
The last time I talked to you, I thought I jinxed them.
I can't remember what was the jinx?
I thought that I told you that they were going to win.
Oh, and then we ended up losing the following week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no jinx this time. They're doing playing pretty well. Not perfect, but pretty well.
Yeah.
Who would you say? What was your favorite? Who was your key to the game today? You could have gone different ways, but which player did you think stood out as the key player of the game today?
Charbonnet.
Yeah, like the last caller. Yes.
Yes, when he made that pass and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was impressed.
Yeah. Yeah, 100+ yards and then several more on the ground. Yeah, it's weird because when I found out that Kenneth Walker was not going to play in this game, I was like, oh no, we don't have Ken Walker. But then I also thought, well, we haven't been really running the game much anyway. So I kind of just thought, well, maybe we're just not going to really run the football today. We'll just have to do it somewhere other way. And then Charbonnet comes in and gives us one of the best rushing performances of the season. So does that mean, okay, we should just go with Charbonnet now? Or was that just next guy stepping up? But, we got to go back to what it was. It definitely raises some questions. And it was just great to see him get his moment because we just have not had that kind of running success all year. It's been frustrating running against a brick wall, So
how come they're not playing Metcalf that much?
Oh, that's a good question. It's not that Metcalf. I think what you're just feeling is like, how come he's not getting the ball much? Why is he not getting more targets? And the reality is, if you're the coordinator and you're the defense trying to think, okay, how do we stop the Seahawks on offense? Well, everybody knows how good DK Metcalf is, and he's always a threat to beat you downfield. So they have to allocate extra guys on him. Usually that means you got a corner on him. Usually your better corner covers DK Metcalf, and you might even put a safety to kind of make sure that he doesn't have that deep ball in case he gets past the corner because he's so big and he's so fast. But that's a lot of times why he doesn't get as many opportunities because he's just covered most of the time. But what that does is it opens it up for these other guys. And today, not only did JSN have a lot of catches, but you also saw passes to the tight ends. And that opens up things because there's only so many guys out there who you can cover. And so when you have somebody like DK who commands so much attention, it often results in other guys getting the ball. And that's why JSN has been getting so many shots. Plus, he's a great route runner, too. So I don't think it's anything that they don't want to get DK the ball. I think it's just hard to because they're trying to make sure that they don't leave him open. Good question, though.
I'm impressed by him, too.
JSN, yeah, he's been amazing.
Yeah.
He's really been stepping up this year. Last year he had a pretty good, freshman season, but his sophomore year is really having a breakout season, having several games where he was the leading receiver and doing just clutch.
See this little dude running down the field.
He's got good hands, and he could have had one more big play. There was that weird play where it was kind of a trick play where they faked the run one direction and then he pitched it, just kind of soft tossed it to JSN around the left side, and I think he could have scored on that one, but he fumbled the football and it just kind of oddly went off his hands. But that's just a strange thing that a fluky deal. Luckily, it didn't turn into a turnover. That could have been really disastrous. So. Like I said, not a perfect game, but there was just enough plays that went our way. But the defense, the running game was the story on the offense, and the defense, once again, 2 interceptions in the first quarter that got Seattle off to that early lead, and they never looked back. So, that defense did their job early and really gave Seattle control of the football game. So, a lot of stuff to be happy about. And again, nobody talks to them about enough, but Jason Myers, solid as the field goal kicker. Doing what he's supposed to do. And and we saw the Cardinals kicker missed his at the end, and that was a huge miss because that could have changed the dynamics of the end of that game, right?
I was watching that too, right? I saw how he punted it, and then it went over to the side.
And it hit the upright. That was great.
It hit that hard.
It did. And they had a microphone on that upright because it was so loud. I mean, you could hear that thing clanging like hitting a big old rusty pipe or something. It was hilarious. So
I was nervous, too.
I was nervous. Even to the end, I was still nervous. Even when they had that one last possession, I was thinking, even though the odds were so low that they could score, get an extra onside kick and score again. It was just that feeling like, what if they do? That would be terrible. So...
But you could hear it cling.
Yeah.
The ball clinging over to the side.
That was a big relief hearing that sound. It's hard to hit that big upright. It's funny how often it happens, considering how small the upright's this big, got all the space, and they hit that thing. So it was good. It was definitely a relief.
Relief?
Yep. Changed everything. So
Yeah.
Just you got to enjoy this ride because, there's so many teams whose seasons have been over for weeks, really. Like you think of the Jets and the Giants and the Panthers and
the 49ers.
Well, 49ers are technically not out of it yet. I mean, they've had a bad season considering what they were expecting, being that I'm sure they all thought this is our year to make it to the Super Bowl and try to get one more shot at it. But it certainly hasn't gone their way. But they're definitely, after that win today, they're staying in the hunt. So everyone's division is up for grabs right now. But we have the advantage. We're in the lead. So we just have to maintain that lead and try to stay ahead of the pack. And if we can do that, we could find ourselves as division champions with the playoffs in January. So, but they got to get some wins here. We got to definitely beat at least one of those 2 teams. We got to beat the Packers or the Vikings, I think, and
That's gonna be hard.
Get those last 2. That's going to be hard. Those are 2 really good teams. But hey, if you were to rewind to what the critics were saying about the Seahawks like about a month ago, we had no chance.
Yeah.
We were like 4% chance of making the playoffs. And look at us now, right? So it doesn't really matter what they say. It's just it's all just guesses and probabilities. But if you keep winning, you never know. And we did see the Packers lose last week, so they can be had. So, and even the Vikings, they were on the verge of, they could have lost that game today too. So anyway, it's a good place to be. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good time to be a Seahawks fan for sure. So, well, thank you, Susan. It's always good to hear from you. So, Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Say hi to your dad.
I will. I'll tell my dad. He just left a little bit ago after the game, but I'll tell him you said hello. Thanks for mentioning.
Hey, Norb.
Mm-hmm.
See.
Hawks!
See.
Hawks!
See.
Hawks! I love it. All right. Thanks, Susan. Take care.
I'll talk to you next time.
Yeah, all right. Sounds good. Thanks for calling in. All right.
You
There
too,
you
my
go.
dear. Thank you.
All right, there we go. That was Susan from Reno. All right, well, phone line's still open if you guys want to call in and vent, predict, celebrate, whatever it is. The phone number's right down below, and you guys can jump in and hop in on the call and share your thoughts on where the Seahawks are right now. And man, like I said, it's a good time to be a Hawks fan for sure. Yeah, it'll be interesting as Joe Kagan brings up. I hope the Niners beat the Rams so it helps Seattle out. It's so funny how it is, right? One week a team is your mortal enemy, another week they're your best friend, and you want them to win. It's all about whatever helps you out at the moment. And right now, because the Rams are the closest threat to us, we need the Rams to lose to the Niners just to knock them down a peg, since the 49ers are already a peg down. Then the following week, I'm sure we'll be rooting against them once again. So it's a good spot to be in. Yeah, and in that game, what tortures me is just the fact that, and I knew this would be the case looking back, but when we lost those two games that we never should have lost, the Giants game, who was just a dumpster fire of a team, somehow one of their few wins they got against us. I just don't know how that happened. And then to lose to the Rams at home when we had them beat, would totally have changed the situation where we are now had we gotten that game, but we didn't, blew our chances. And so now here we are having to hope that these guys stumble along the way. But just crazy that it's come to this. But at the same time, it kind of makes it exciting, right? All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. Let me go to the 317. I believe this is in Indianapolis. 317, who's this and where are you calling from?
This is AJ from Indianapolis.
AJ. All right, AJ. Let me just make a note here so I know who you are. AJ. So, what's your thoughts where we stand today, our Seahawks?
I thought it was a good win.
Yeah, definitely a good win. A must win. I mean, every game is... It's not a must-win situation like we're out if we don't, but to maintain where we want to be, each of these games, it is really feeling like kind of like a playoff game. It's just pretty cool to have 4 games to go and feel like we're in the midst of a playoff battle. It's pretty cool. What was your favorite play or player of the game today?
Probably Jack Charbonnet.
Yeah, Zach Charbonnet. It seemed like overwhelmingly. I think it's just the fact that nobody expected anything from Charbonnet. I think that's what is why he's so high on the list, because I think we all, when Kenneth Walker went down and wasn't going to be active, I think, at least I did, I was thinking, maybe he can get a few yards here and there. I did not expect Charbonnet to be going over 100 yards, so I'm happy for the guy, because I think he's had a lot of people kind of not exactly have the most faith in him. So it's pretty cool to see him have a game like this. And it does show that, maybe the game is there. Maybe we just it's just a certain style of running or there's certain play calls. I did like the play calling today too. They mixed it up with some clever designs. We were able to overcome some of those short yardage deficiencies with some clever ways of attacking on 3rd and 1, and we were able to get those so it didn't have to bite us like it did last week where we couldn't get it and score from 3rd and 1, 7 or 8 times. So it's a good feeling. So with the schedule, as we just discussed before, with 4 games to go and the Seahawks at 8-5, how do you feel the Seahawks record will be in these last 4 games?
I think we need to at least win 2 more games, and that's against the Packers and Bears. You have 2 brothers who are Packers and Bears fans. So
you have 2 brothers who are Packers and Bears fans? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Wow, how did you have such a multi-team family? Usually the family stays together and has everybody on the same team, or maybe you have that one outcast who chooses a rival fan or something. But how'd you guys end up with three different brothers with three different favorite teams?
Well, basically my whole family is a Bears fan, and then so that's why the one's a Bears fan, and then my other brother, he wanted to be different, so he picked the Packers, and I liked the Seahawks uniform, so I became a Seahawks fan.
Interesting. So it's your family's Bears fans, and then the one went Packers to be rogue, and of course, Bears and Packers are mortal enemies as far as divisions are concerned, and then Seahawks just kind of out of nowhere. Well, that's pretty cool. So if we go 2 wins, that puts us, like a lot of people have been saying, 10-7, which that's gonna be right there borderline. It's really going to depend on how the rest of the division does from here on out. We need the Rams to suffer some kind of upset loss. We got to have them lose one in here because they have such an easy schedule. It'd be great for them to overlook Chicago or something and lose to them, or Carolina, some team that's like right off as a joke. Oh yeah, we'll destroy those guys. Panthers have been pretty competitive. They've been in these games and no wins to show for it, but they're one of those teams that can be really dangerous. I think the Giants kind of the same thing. How we got caught overlooking the Giants. We'll never live that game down, but at least we're doing what we got to do now. So, all right. Well, thank you for the call. I appreciate it, man. All right.
Thanks for having me on here.
Yeah, you bet. All right, let's go to the 719 to Brandon in Colorado. Brandon, you're on with NorbCam. What's happening?
Hey, Norb. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. It's a good day. Anytime you win and beat a division rival, not just beat a division rival, you swept them, right? The Cardinals were flying high, and a lot of Cardinals fans are thinking, this is our year, and we went and swept them yet again. I think we got like 7 straight wins on these guys. I mean, it's not even been funny. Well, it is funny. It's great. So, yeah, great day. Yeah, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts after this win?
Well, it's good. By the way, I don't know if I said my name was Brandon or if they know, but
yeah, I think I did say it was Brandon. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Man, Norb, you know what? Great win. The Rams win killed it for me because looking at our next 4 games, going against Green Bay Sunday night, and obviously we got Minnesota, who's hot right now as well. They've won over 5 games in a row, and Chicago's no pushover, and then obviously we got that huge Rams game at the end of the year. It's stressful, and obviously losing that Rams game in overtime, a game that we should have won.
Yeah,
that game is looking super important at this point. And the Rams, their schedule's a little soft, I'm not going to lie. So them winning today killed me. I can't even explain how mad I am at the Bills. They beat us, and then they don't beat the Rams. It's like the 2 worst things you could do. So, yeah, it's pretty it's a good day for the win, but it's going to be a tough month.
Yeah, that is frustrating, especially they beat the 49ers. I killed them, in the snow, of course. But, yeah, you're just thinking they should come in here. All the teams are going to come in and beat one of our rivals. It should be the 10-2 Bills, and they go and blow it. And they had a chance, even though they're getting dominated through most of that game. It was so frustrating because we got to watch it at the end of the Seahawks game. I don't know what the coach was thinking. Why does he take the penalty?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, because they had him at 4th. It would have been 4th down. They declined the penalty, and they're going to either have to punt or kick a field goal. And they would have gotten the ball with plenty of time and only down 6 at the worst. And instead, they take the penalty, and then they end up getting a first down and a touchdown and the whole thing, and it just completely backfires. And so, yeah, it was frustrating watching the decision making on that series because I thought they should have taken, I don't know, they're getting greedy, trying to get as many yards as possible. But yeah, that was a big mistake. I think they could have.
Timeout.
And they had 3 timeouts. They didn't start using them till the very, very end. I think what happened was when they did get scored on, they were thinking, okay, if we can hold on to our timeouts and score, and even though there's a minute left and we have all 3 timeouts, well, they'll force them to punt and get the ball back with, Josh Allen and a few final seconds magic to get into go-ahead field goal range. Well, that plan was great until Josh Allen tried to sneak it in and didn't make it, and so they had to burn one of those final 3 timeouts, so they killed the whole strategy.
That was a terrible call. That was terrible.
Why would you risk it, right? I mean, that's one of those things, though. It's like normally he gets in, right? He's almost dominant. He's almost money every time he sneaks, and that one time didn't work, and the gamble didn't pay off there either. So I thought it was some bad decisions, well before then that kind of doomed him. So yeah, it's frustrating when they come over to kill you with ease, and then they blow it against the team that you really need to lose to, and they don't. So yeah, it just keeps things interesting.
The Rams
it's like
good.
Rams look very good. Well, we know they're good. I mean, that's why it's so frustrating that we didn't beat them, because we know how dangerous they are, and we had them. We had Puka Nacua kicked out of the game in the second half. All we had to do is get a first down with 3rd and 1. We don't get that. We could have kicked a field goal in overtime. Didn't get that, and then 2 picks, pick 6 in the red zone, another interception in the red zone. I mean, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong against the Rams, and unfortunately, here we are paying the price, knowing they're like right on our heels. It's like, Michael Myers, you have a chance to kill him and you don't, and then of course he keeps coming back to life. And
You feel right. I feel like the Rams are right on our tail right now.
They are right on our tail. They are right on our tail.
If the Rams win it, good for them though, because 100% they deserve it. The way that they're beating teams that they shouldn't be beating, and they're fighting really hard. So I commend them for that, honestly.
Well, this has been as far as our rivals with the 49ers and the Rams, we definitely have had the benefit of injuries getting the best of these teams early on in the division. That's why we're so knotted up for such a long time, even after we were struggling with our, started out hot and then kind of fell back to the pack. But if not for all these injuries, that hurt the Rams, hurt the 49ers, one of those 2 teams could have easily been way ahead in the division, but the injuries kind of went our way in terms of keeping things close. But now they're kind of getting back to healthy. So now the Rams, we're seeing what the healthy Rams look like. And the 49ers just they're going the wrong way. They were like missing Christian McCaffrey, and then it just got worse after he came back, re-injured, and now other guys are going down. So 49ers definitely going the wrong way, but the Rams definitely trending up in terms of looking like the team that we know them to be when they've got all their weapons. And so, yeah, it's a bad time for them to get hot right now. The Bills could have really helped us out. Unfortunately, yeah, they're tough, especially at home, and we got to play them at home. These 2 next games, Packers and Vikings, are going to be tough enough playing at home, but then have to go, even Chicago. That's the easy one for us to say, we should beat Chicago. Chicago sucks, blah, blah, blah. But we're playing Chicago in the cold in Chicago, That's going to be, that's just tough environment. So, but who knows, man? Who knows? How crazy it would be if Seattle sweeps the North and beats the Packers and the Vikings at home. How crazy would that be? How good would we be feeling in 2 weeks that we're sitting there at the end of the Vikings game with 6 straight wins? That would be amazing. So
I think we beat the Rams at that point. If we win the next 2 weeks, I think we beat the Rams. It would just show that we're a team we're the team that we think that we should be.
Yeah.
If we win the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
Well, we'll see, man. One at a time, right? But this is the biggest one, and it's going to be prime time, Sunday night. If this stadium isn't rocking full house with everything that's at stake and being prime time, well, then there's something wrong with our fan base, because there's no other bigger game than this one coming up right here. The stage, the opponent.
The Packers travel well, though.
They do. I know, and that's what's frustrating, too. The last time they were here, they practically took over the stadium and made us go to a silent count. So, but we've been generally pretty fortunate. We have done well at home versus the Packers, and hopefully they can maintain that trend and that record, because if it does, it goes well for us. So if we can play like we did in the first half of this game, I like our chances. And overall, I just thought, we looked like a good team today that executed on all levels. We just didn't do it throughout the whole game, but we showed signs of a team that is becoming playoff quality. I said in a video this past week, I said, if we don't get the run game going, we're doomed. Well, they answered that. They answered that with a totally unexpected rushing performance. So if they can do that consistently and keep that rolling, then I think we've got a good shot that this team could have a pretty balanced attack and we could be tough on anybody. But we've got to be able to do that consistently.
You think that? You think that the first half and second half inconsistency offensive on the offensive side of the ball? Do you think that was because we're inconsistent, or do you think? Because this is what I think. I think when you're up 27-10 or whatever the score was, the playbook changes and your mentality changes. It's almost like that one year when, against the Panthers when they went up like 28-0 at half. We made that big comeback. We ended up losing the year after we lost the Super Bowl. I feel like there's just there's a mental change when you think you're up. I feel like if we had to keep going back and forth with the Cardinals, I think we would have kept scoring. I think there was just this, we turned it down a little bit. Unfortunately, we shouldn't have done that. That's at least what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm crossing my fingers for, Norman. It wasn't just we're just inconsistent and we do well one half and not well the other.
I agree. Seattle's been behind in so many games that I don't think they're used to having a lead, right? In these games that really kind of down the stretch, we've had to play from behind in almost all of these games, it feels like. And so, or at least come from behind. The Jets obviously had to come from behind. The Cardinals game, we were mostly in charge on that one, but I think, it felt like a struggle. We were always feeling like we have to hang on or fight back to come back. And this one, it was like, well, dang, we're like 17 points ahead. What do we do with ourselves, right? It's almost shocking when something like that happens. But yeah, I think a combination too that they just got sloppy with the execution. We had a lot of bad timed penalties that we were pretty penalty free for the most part in the first half. Second half, we saw a few more bad penalties show up. Like there's some holdings. There was a really bad grounding call. I still disagree with that call. There was a false start here and there. Kind of messed up the flow too. So, so I think it's a little bit of both. Playing a little more conservative too. You also don't want to be too risky because the last thing you want to do is put balls up and take chances when you're up 17, right? You just don't want to be so safe and conservative that you stop keeping your winning edge. But yeah, no, it was definitely a bit of a relaxation, and I think that hopefully if they get this position again, they can keep the foot on the gas and not ease up, but it's got to execute though. So they did enough. And that final drive, Gino took them and they got first downs when they had to get first downs. And even though they didn't get the touchdown, right? Didn't they just get was it a field goal? Can't remember how did that last drive finish? Or did we score?
Are you saying who, Seattle?
That's just before they got it was a field goal. The final drive when we needed to just keep the ball out of the Cardinals' hands. We got multiple first downs, and eventually just kicked the field goal. I mean, that was key. Would have liked the touchdown, but the field goal with all that time and conversions just got what we needed done and made it impossible for them to come back in time. So the offense, they did enough. They did enough, and that's what you do when you got the lead, But, yeah. Anyway, I know. It's lots to be nervous about, but hey, we're just in a good spot right now and just enjoy the ride, and let's just hope they can keep this rolling and continue to execute and improve in the areas where we know we're deficient. Because we ran the ball better, special teams were better, we didn't have any fumbles, no turnovers, and the defense got turnovers again and didn't let them gash us with any major plays. So that's all good improvement. So. All right, man. Well, thanks for the call. I'm going to get to some other calls here, but appreciate you, man. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks, man. Really appreciate it. Go Hawks.
I bet you. All right, go Hawks. Let me go to the 774 Mark. I believe this is Mark. Mark, you're on the line.
Hello.
Hello, Mark. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great, too. Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las Vegas. All right. Well, How's your feeling about this after this win?
I think Seattle is in a great position right now. Obviously, very close to clinching playoffs and very close to winning the division.
Well, we've got a ways to go, and that division may not be won till the final game of the year. So I don't think it's going to be decided unless Seattle can sweep the next 2 games, which is very odds are against us because of the teams we're playing, and unless the Rams and the other teams in our division also blow some easy games, I feel like it's going to be a photo finish that's going to culminate to that final game against the Rams. I hate that it might come down to that, but it just simply might come down to that unless some surprises happen. So that's going to be tough because Rams are tough to beat at home, as we just saw with the Bills, So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's a good spot, though. They're in control of their own destiny, and that's all you can ask for. At some point we might need some help, but right now if they were to just win out, they would win the division. That means if they win the games and control it and never have to rely on anybody, well, what a great thing that would be. Quick shout out to Sports Live and the ATL. Good luck down the stretch, Norb. I know they suffered. Atlanta Falcons lost another loss today. Time for Falcons to bench Kirk and start your dude Penix Jr. I would actually like to see that, just to see him get some reps. But yeah, Atlanta free falling, man. They've lost 4, 5, 6 in a row. It's been bad. Been bad for those guys.
Yeah,
so what's your prediction for the rest of the year? We got 4 games left. They're 8-5. How will they do in your mind? You seem pretty optimistic.
Yeah, I think the only one that we might drop is that last one to LA. But
so you think we go 3-1?
Yeah, to end up the season.
Yeah, well, that would make us at 8-5. That would make us 11-6. But man, you got a lot of hope there with the Seahawks beating the Packers and the Vikings, who are, at least on paper, tougher than the Rams record-wise. But I don't know. Maybe they're not. Maybe the Rams are really tougher as it is. But I'll take 11-6. That should get us the division. If we're at that point,
yeah.
and the Rams are the only team we haven't lost to, it may not even be coming down to the division at that final game if we win 3 straight and the last game is the Rams. We might be so far ahead it might not even matter at that point. So I'm hoping for that. That would be great for that Rams game to not mean anything except maybe seeding and just be locked into our division win. I would love that. So, AD, I see you, man. I'm going to get to you. Appreciate the super chat. But yeah, man, we'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for the call. I hope we go there. 11-6 would be an awesome record. 11-6 would be awesome.
Of course.
But we'll see what happens next week. Is where it's all going to. So, appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call.
All right, have a good night.
All right, go Hawks. Okay, got guys here who want to get on. Sam Dog wanted to get on. Anthony D. I'm going to go to Sam Dog just because he's in New York. Not New York. He's in Arizona with his dad, and I've been FaceTiming him during and before the game. I know he's excited. I want to get him on here right now. Sam Dog, what's up?
I'm at a Buffalo Wild Wings right now, just ready to order some victory wings. But, man, I'll tell you what, that was crazy to be at that game in person.
I envy you, man. I could only imagine. I could hear the Seahawks chants through the TV, but I know it's got to have been off the hook in there, man. How was the environment?
Well, it was great. I mean, we took over the stadium again, and can I just say this live on here? Just say we own the Cardinals. We officially now own the Cardinals. We've got 7 in a row now since Wilson's last game as our quarterback.
That is
we own
nuts.
Arizona.
That is crazy, isn't it? It looked like the Cardinals, the way they were surging, that we'd be lucky to get 1 game out of them, and here we are sweeping them again, keeping our 4-game win streak alive. I mean, that was awesome. What was your give me your player of the game? Everyone's been pretty unanimous on it, but do you agree?
Zach Charbonnet. Zach Charbonnet on offense, and then I got to give a game ball to Ernest Jones and Kobe Bryant for those interceptions earlier, and just. I got to give a game ball also to the offensive line for holding up, especially Satel Lamea when he pancaked that dude on the Charbonnet touchdown. That was a sick pancake. My buddy Michael Mathis spotted that, and I re-looked at it like, oh, dang, Satel, he just pancaked the dude.
Just everybody brought it today, man. I mean, Michael Dixon punting the crap out of the ball. Like, what bad back, man? He was rocking it. Jason Myers, solid as ever. Geno Smith, man, you know, it's like, I know people love to hate on Geno Smith, but they hate to give him some love when he does a good game. He had a great, solid game, right? I mean, yeah, he didn't have some 50-yard, 60-yard bomb or nothing, but he just never turned it over. Hit the guys that had to get the ball to, and just did a great job spreading the ball around to tight ends, running backs. I like that he was checking it down to Charbonnet too when he had to. Smart play, you know. The coaches too.
Yeah, it's all gonna come down to the Rams, unfortunately now, especially with the way they just manhandled Buffalo. I mean, my dad and I would just be watching that, and that was just like, you know, I couldn't believe it either. I mean, but you know, we know how good the Bills are, we know how good the Rams are, but man, I feel like it's gonna come down to that last game. But we're gonna have to try to at least 10-7 at best. But one of those has to be a win against the Rams if we want to win the division. But I'll tell you what, so far this season, this first year with Mike McDonald has definitely so far over-exceeded expectations.
For sure. Well, and I think we all kind of were going, where's this Mike McDonald defense going to show up? Well, it just sort of slowly evolved, and it's here, right? We're seeing it week after week. And just the interceptions, the pressures, you know, they give up a play here and there, but we're not seeing the big gashes like we did earlier, you know, like last year and earlier in the year, where we would see like 15, 20-yard gash runs and no pressure on the quarterback. Now it's all kind of coming together. So I love it, man. It's and now the running game, the way the running game woke up today, I mean, it's hard to put your finger onto why it suddenly blew up. And if you're going to tell me that Zach Charbonnet is just that much better of a running back than Kenneth Walker, I think you'd be kind of crazy to think that, just K9 sucks. We got to put Charbonnet in there. Whatever it is, just clicking.
Charbonnet had 134 yards total today. Charbonnet had 134 yards today.
Yeah, and then add his passing yardage on there. I mean, the dude just lit it up.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's hard to deny it.
He killed it.
Happened
killed it today,
for him.
But man, big time, man. It was just great to just get on here. Like I said, right now I'm at Buffalo Wild Wings. Check my post. I got a selfie with Devin Witherspoon. I got a selfie with Julian Love, Tariq Young. I got a selfie with Boye Mafe at the end and Farrell Brown. Yeah, it was, man, just celebrate with some of our boys afterwards, man.
Yeah, everybody's like, you mentioned Farrell Brown. Farrell Brown had some good plays, man. Didn't he, like, truck somebody? And then A.J. Barnard chucked the dude.
Barnard trucked the dude. Dude, Cardinal fans they were stunned, man. Even I was going wild, man, on that Charbonnet run, man. It was just a thing of beauty, man.
That was
like
great.
I said, I'm going to say it one more time. After now that's 7 in a row. We own Arizona. We own Arizona.
We sure do, man.
And I'm going to say that loud and proud. We own Arizona.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to set up a great game next week. Yeah, man. Well, thanks for the updates. It was fun. It's fun seeing you and your dad at the game on FaceTime. Have a great trip back, man, and good job representing the 12s out there. All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. Back-to-back road wins. MetLife last week, and now Arizona this week, and now I'm going to order me some boneless wings at this Buffalo Wild Wings. I love it. Sounds good, man. Have one for me. Say hi to your dad.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks, baby. All right, I'm going to bring in Anthony D, since I know he's been patiently waiting. Let's get him on this Victory Sunday night. AD, how's it going, man?
Hey, how's it going to you too, buddy?
It's a good day, man. Great win. Can't be happier with the way the team's been playing 4 straight.
I know. It's a really great day to be a Seahawks fan right now.
Were you watching the game or were you working?
Oh, I was actually watching the game with my mom and my twin brother Quinn at this restaurant called Tailgaters in Stila.
Oh, sounds fun. That's cool. Tailgaters. So is that like a sports viewing area with lots of TVs and games all playing at the same time?
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep, that's the one, buddy.
So how was the atmosphere? A lot of Seahawks fans in there living it up?
Not a whole lot, but a good chunk to make it sound like there were a lot of fans.
Yeah, okay. Well, I got Andrew A. He wants me to put you on the air at the same time. You guys can both be on. So I'll do that. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak. Andrew A. What's up?
Nothing much.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's going on?
Good win.
Nothing much. How you doing there, buddy? Go Hawks!
Yeah, man. That was a fantastic win. Were you watching the game too, Andrew?
Oh, yes. Man, it was a winner game, man.
Yeah.
Wait, you got to watch the game, buddy?
Huh?
You got to watch the game?
Oh, yeah.
It says Andrew's in Georgia, so
Good, guy.
yeah. How do you get the Seahawks game over there? Because I'm sure they're showing the Atlanta game.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering
I'm
myself.
surprised you get the Seahawks, or do you subscribe to like the NFL channel or NFL Plus or whatever? How are you able to watch these games over in Atlanta?
Oh, it was good. Well, actually, I'm not a Falcons fan because even though they're always lost, so yeah.
Oh, I'm just curious. How are you actually able to watch the game? How do you watch your games, Seahawks games in Atlanta?
Yeah, how did you get to watch it, buddy?
Oh, well, I was on the computer just to listen, but I missed the part first because me and my family had a photo shooting for our family portrait.
Oh, were you just watching? Were you just listening? Were you listening to? I know you're in the chat watching in the Discord during the game.
Also, you got to watch. Really, you got to listen to the game through NorbFam, right, buddy?
Right, I did.
Okay, all right. Well, that
makes sense.
That's just as good as being there, practically. Well, that's cool. That's cool. That's awesome. So, yeah, well, I'll just mention that the music prediction videos, which I've been doing one at a time. I do have these guys, Andrew and AD. These guys are actually going to be. Their vocals will be on the video section that I will be making for the Chicago Bears game. They actually help.
Oh man, I cannot wait!
I can't wait either because I got to get that done before things get too busy in the holidays. So I got to get to work because time is fleeting, and I am going to have to get things done sooner than later because of reasons of traveling at the end of this year. So anyway, that's up. It's on deck. It's on deck. So it's going to be fun. To finally debut that very soon here. But, yeah, let me just get for you guys before I go to other calls. Give me your predictions of what you think the rest of the year is going to look like for Seattle. With 4 games left to go, how many games do we win of the remaining 2 games? Remaining 4 games. What's our record?
What do you think, AD?
Out of 4.
Well, first of all, I am a bit worried about the Packers because they're
tough.
Yes, my thought was we're going to be lose the Seahawks, even though the Packers are good. Like last year to 2021 year, we're going to lose the game with Seahawks like last time.
Lose to who? Which teams? We play the Packers, Vikings, Bears, and Rams.
What? We're talking mostly about the Packers first, dude.
Oh, you're just talking about the Packer game. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The Vikings, I am pretty sure they're just going to impale us with those horns of theirs. They are just like little cubs right now that can't fight for their lives. The Rams, because of how well they did with the Bills today, I am worried about them too.
Oh, that sounds like 3 games you're concerned about. So that might be 1 game out of 4. That would make us 9-8 if that were the case. And I don't know if that's good enough to get a playoff berth. Well, that would be sad. I don't like that prediction. That doesn't work. That doesn't work for me.
Got good at it.
We got to steal a win here.
Well, hey,
somewhere.
Norb, I'm going to go. Norb, I'm going to go ahead and let you go right now, but I'm with my mom. She's
no problem. I'm going to get some other callers anyway. But all right, well, thanks you guys. Enjoy the rest of the week, and a week from now it's going to go crazy. We're going to be in the middle of a crazy game a week from now. So hopefully it's a good game. All right, you guys.
Hopefully, yeah.
All right, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. All right, take care. All right, I'm going to go to across the border up north to Anish. I haven't talked to Anish in a long time. Anish, what's happening?
Hey, Norb, how's it going, buddy?
It's
Are you fired up?
Good. I'm fired up, man. Yeah.
Are you fired up?
I was nervous about this game. I had them winning though. I had them sweeping the Cardinals from the get-go, and I was sticking to that. I just didn't think we would come out firing, especially in the run game. I did not expect that Charbonnet. Everything else, I would have, if you had told me this is how it's going to turn out, I would have been like, yeah, I could see Gino doing that. I could see the defense doing that. I did not see Charbonnet going off like he did. That was the biggest shocker of the day in a good way. How about you?
Yeah, I actually missed the game. I'm just catching up when I was at the Vancouver Canucks game. I was at the Canucks game.
Okay.
But I'm just finishing watching it right now. And Charbonnet, he went off. He had a great game. He stepped up big time with K9 not playing, right? He showed up and he played well. But you gotta give it to this team. I mean, this defense is really, they're really getting it going. And this offense, like I said, even with Jackson Smith, Najigba, look at the way he's playing. Like he just looks like a vet, like a vet out there, like a 4 or 5 year. He's only been in the league for a couple of years, and he's just like he's showing like where he's going to be one of the best receivers in this game, right? And I think we talked last time I called in that the Seahawks wide receivers, that core that they have, I think it's like one of the best in the league. I think it's really underrated with DK Tyler and Jackson, and then like you said, you got Fant up there as well, right? Like there's quite a bit of talent up there.
Yeah, there is,
and,
for sure.
It's a team that I mean, I think these down the stretch of the last 4 games, I think it's going to be tough against Green Bay, obviously on Sunday night. But that's game at home, and it's a game that we can win, right, on national TV.
Yeah.
I think we have a good chance of one game at a time. But I think we can we can get to that. What are we at? We're at 8-5.
8-5.
I mean, we can solidify and get that third 8-5. Yeah. So I think we can get the 3rd seed. I think we'll win the division. I don't think obviously we're going to finish 1st or 2nd, but getting a home playoff game is going to be huge because home field advantage may not be like what it was 10 years ago, unfortunately, as we've seen in the stands, like you and me. But I think that having a home game can make a big difference, right? I hope to see you finally because I haven't seen it run. I haven't seen you all year, so hopefully next Sunday I can actually catch up with you before the game. That's something that we have to do.
For sure.
Sam Dog, we haven't. I know Sam Dog has been telling me to come see Norb.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to run down there and try to catch you guys down there in the corner of the tunnel and try to catch Sam Dog and some of that pregame activity stuff and maybe see you down there as well. So, yeah, this will be a fun one for sure. And really, when you think about it, as tough as these games are going to be, the chances are, if we do in fact make the playoffs, we're going to probably face the Packers or the Vikings. A good chance we play one of these guys. So really, if we want to be a playoff team that's deserving to be in that mix, well, we really need to beat one of these teams. And if we can't beat either of them, well, maybe we really don't deserve to be in the playoffs. So, like I said, we're already kind of like in the playoffs. And so beating one or both, if we could pull off that miracle, I mean, that would be like showing the rest of the NFL that, hey, we deserve to be in here and we can hang with anybody. So that would be pretty cool if we can definitely pull off a win against Green Bay. And if we pull off a win against Green Bay, well, that makes our chances against the Vikings even better. If we play like we did this first half of today's game, I do think we could hang with anybody. So it's pretty exciting, pretty cool seeing things coming together. So we'll see you next week, man. I feel good about this. It's trending in the right direction.
Yeah, I do too. And we'll definitely catch up next week. And before I let you go, one question. What do you think, one last question. What do you think is going to happen with that final wildcard spot? Do you think Washington hangs on, or do you think the Rams sneak in, or even the Cardinals or even San Francisco sneaks in at some point, right? That final
I don't think
spot with Washington.
I think
Washington gets in, but
yeah, it's going to come down to that's the thing. I guess there is that possibility that even us could theoretically, if the wins keep, if the other teams like the Washington starts trending the wrong way, maybe even if we don't get the division, maybe there is a wild card to be had. It all depends on how it all shakes out. But I think 49ers, they had a good win today. I don't know. Can they keep this going for the rest of the year? I mean, Chicago's just not been very good. And they were playing at home. So I think it's going to be interesting next week. Well, I think we're all going to be 49ers fans for a week to try to take down the Rams and knock them down a peg. But nonetheless, it's going to make things that much more bunched up. So, in the end, I think the Rams are going to be a stubborn little cockroach that's going to be in the mix somewhere, whether it's a wild card or, like I said, right at the end with us for the division. So I feel like the Rams are trending the right way, and they're going to be hard to get rid of. So I feel like we're going to be seeing them, they're not going away anytime soon. sadly.
All right, great. Well, thanks for taking my call, Norb. It was great chatting with you.
You bet,
We'll
Anish.
catch up next week.
All right, take care. Go Hawks.
See you, bud.
All right, let's go a couple more lines here before I wrap up the show. Let me go to the 818 in San Fernando, California. Let's find out who this is. Hello, from the 818. Who's this?
Yo, what's up, Norm?
What's up? Who's this?
It's Dave.
Dave. Dave from, okay, so not San Fernando, Dave from LA. Okay. All right, well, how you feeling about things, man?
Feeling good today. Today was a good win. Didn't
win.
expect Charbonnet to have the game that he did, but good.
Yeah, I don't think anybody saw that coming, right? I mean, Charbonnet's been pretty quiet all year. The run game hasn't happened one game after the next to the next, and then Charbonnet breaks out with this out of nowhere game of the year from a rushing perspective. That was great. Makes things interesting. Like, okay, what's going to happen when K9 gets back?
Forget about McIntosh. McIntosh also looks pretty good.
Yeah, he did. He let's see, what was his numbers? He had a decent number of obviously not as big as Charbonnet, but he had 7 carries for 38 yards, which is a pretty damn nice running percentage. That's over 5 yards a carry. And shoot, I mean, we've had some games where the total yardage was only a little bit higher than that. So he did pretty good. 16-yard long for the day. I thought both those guys stepped up and did a good job fighting and working with the offensive line to get what they needed to get done. So, yeah, I agree. I think everyone agrees that Charbonnet had the day. He won the day for sure. But let's not forget the 2 interceptions by the defense set up a lot of things for us. Dixon kicking the ball, Jason Myers kicking the football. It was a lot of good contributors on this from multiple places. So it's like the way the team is slowly, piece by piece, like coming together. It's good to see. What's your prediction for the rest of the year? Oh, he's gone. He dropped off. All right. Well, so much for that. Let's go to our other KC friend, Lewis. What's up, man?
How's it going?
I haven't talked to you in a while, man. Our other resident Chiefs fan who I have not talked to in a bit. How are you doing?
It's been good. I'm in college now, which is crazy.
I know. Is this your first year?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and remind me again, where are you going to school?
I am at the Newhouse School of Public Communications in Syracuse.
Syracuse, okay. Awesome. So is that what you're pursuing, communications?
Yes, I am pursuing to be a broadcaster.
Awesome. Well, you got an early start when we first met. Was it like 2020? Isn't that the time when we...
I would say it was like COVID for sure. I forget what it was.
That's when we were doing the most because we were obviously nothing to do except be locked in our house and did a lot of that stuff. But I remember spending a lot of days chatting on either Discord or...
I just remember Nick's voice when we were on that first broadcast was so much higher than it was now.
Nick LeVeaux sounded like a little kid, and now he's taller than me, and he's got a manly voice. So, that's a lot has changed in like 4 years, drastically.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you: Did you watch the? I don't know if you even saw the Seahawks game. You were probably watching a lot of games, but did you?
I did. I absolutely did.
Okay. Well, yeah. So you're coming from a Chiefs perspective. Just curious, what did you think of? What's your view, the outside view of Seattle here in terms of the West and their playoff shot?
I think it's probably, and I listened to also a lot of this national sports
analysts,
radio and different shows. I feel like your division is like the one sort of like drama point in a lot in the NFL when there's like no real drama, because there's just a lot of bad also in the NFL.
Right.
Like outside of like the top AFC teams and like the NFC teams at the top.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's like the one spot in the NFL that has like a lot of drama to it heading into the final stretch.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the one division where everybody's locked up, right? There's no clear division winner. You got
and I say
other divisions.
I think the Rams, especially for you guys right now, and I watched also that Rams-Bills game today. First of all, that was a terrible loss for the Bills. Coming from my fan perspective, like, you cannot be calling that timeout with a minute to go trying to get a sneak. That's terrible clock management. But like the Rams are a good football team. They're back healthy again.
Yep.
Cooper Kupp and who are playing extremely well, and they have that tiebreaker over you. So I would be a bit worried, really, especially even if that team gets a 7 seed, I'd be worried. That's what I would say.
Yeah, and that's what sucks. You know, we had a chance to put them down when we played them here in overtime. We had multiple chances to put them down like a dog, and we blew it multiple times. And that might come back to haunt us. I mean, the two worst losses of the year: losing to the Giants. Like, the Giants suck, and we lost to those guys. And then we.
How did y'all lose to the Giants?
I
still to this day.
It was weird, man. They caught us at. I think there was some overlooking them because we were getting ready to play the 49ers on Thursday night. The 4 days after that, I think there was a little bit of peeking ahead on the schedule. We had some guys who were former Giants players, right? In Leonard Williams and Julian Love. I think maybe them actually having played with them added to the fact that they maybe overlooked them a bit. I think some players actually admitted to that. But yeah, they came out better prepared. It's almost like they put all their effort to win into that one game. And after that, they had nothing left. Yeah. So the rest of the season, they've completely sucked. But they brought everything.
It kind of reminds me. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of like when the Commanders had that miraculous Hail Mary against the Bears.
Against the Bears.
Also another dumpster fire right now.
Yeah.
And then they just they just completely went off after that. It's kind of similar to them, although they're still in the 7th spot right now.
Right,
so
they're still hanging in there.
They're still going to be fighting for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been different since. Yes.
I think what's also very interesting, though, because I'm also surrounded because of where I'm at school right now. I'm in New York, so I'm surrounded by a lot of Jets Giants.
Oh, yeah, you hear it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, so I say, like, especially the Giant fan reactions are hilarious up here. Like, it's just so funny. Like, I come out, like, I'm just working on, like, helping produce the show or something like that. And then I just walk out and just hear, like,
I think New York in general, I found these two guys who were doing reactions for the Jets. And their name, I think their name of their channel is it's the Jets logo, but instead of Jets, it's Jokes. And these two guys were responding to the Seahawks game, and they are hilarious. I mean, typical New York guys, cursing and everything, yelling and how bad everything is. But they're funny. I mean, it's funny, right?
More. You'll get more views that way, man.
I know. Isn't that true? Like back when EDP 445, he would be like the most fun guy to watch lose it when the Eagles would lose because he's going to break something. He'd be cursing up a storm. I mean, that's just not me. I mean, I've lost it, but not to that degree.
After the Thanksgiving game for the Lions and Bears, a good a YouTube Steelers fan that you might know of, Tristan Adonis from the family.
Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah.
He just went he got up out of his DX Razor chair and just he made a whole 30-minute rant after the clock management by Eberflus. It was so funny.
Yeah.
His commentary is hilarious also. So
yeah. No, it is true. It's the more emotionally invested somebody is into a team, the more fun they are to watch because chances are if they lose, you want to go see how pissed off they get or sad they get or they get moved to tears.
I will say, though, after that loss to the Bills, I got a lot of hate by Bills fans after that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they were.
That was not a fun Monday after that. I will say that.
At that point, that was kind of like their Super Bowl of the regular season, right? Because, you guys were undefeated at that point. Of course, they want to take it out on you guys.
It was. Well, to be honest, they're going to need us to lose tonight and then lose again now. So that's at the time, it was kind of more like they were hoping for, I think there was evidence at the time they knew we were kind of a lesser, kind of not as what we once were.
Right.
I even still see it now. We're nowhere near what we once were.
Yeah, you guys have had some lucky wins, man.
But exactly, but it's more of, I think it was just they finally got our number, and that was kind of where it came from. But
well, that's not the first time. That's not the first time the Chiefs have lost to the Bills. The Bills, I think, did the Bills beat you guys last year too in the regular season?
Yeah.
So it's really not that unusual.
I'm more saying right. I think it was also just they finally I think a team beat them So it was kind of like they were kind of claiming like they were like the. We did lose. We had that was like the first loss that we took.
Right.
So it was more like a team finally got the last undefeated team off. I think that was kind of mostly where it came.
Right. Well, it's going to be interesting. The Chiefs.
If McDermott can actually get his clock management and coaching skills right, they actually can make a run.
I think they mismanaged the end of that Rams game. They should have had a better shot at winning that game. Not declining that penalty with however many minutes were left, 3 or 4 minutes or whatever it was, and that final drive by the Rams. I thought it was
it reminded
choice.
me because just on college football terms, like because I watched the Miami and Syracuse game when it was up here last week. It kind of reminded me when Mario Cristobal just took the field goal instead of going for the touchdown when their defense couldn't stop anything. Like it's not the same thing, but it's like you just got to read the situation at times, and that's what the difference between good and great coaches are in this league.
Well, it's funny because you look at Dan Campbell, right? The way he coached that last game against the Packers. I mean, talk about a dude who's like just live by the sword, die by the sword. Go for it every time on fourth down. But man,
it's like Franklin at Penn State. He's down 8 with like 10 minutes to go. Instead of kicking the extra point, he goes for 2 for no reason. It's like
right.
Why are you going?
I know.
It makes no sense.
And if they get it, like the kid, like it paid off for the Lions. They're like, hey man, we love this coach, so aggressive. Yeah, that's how we roll here in Detroit. But then that's what got them to not be facing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl last year because they didn't take the points when they had it. They could have put away the 49ers, but instead they go for it and they screw it up and they blow their chances to it. So you live with the sword, you die by the sword. In this case, they lived with it. But at some point, that aggressive style is going to bite them in the butt too.
I should make a point about your game today, though, because I know it's a Seahawks conversation. Charbonnet was phenomenal today.
That was really good.
Probably the best I've seen rushing out of your team all season. And so I was just so impressed by because I feel like why did y'all just not run him more after what I saw from him today?
Well,
that's what I'm questioning.
Ken Walker has been the number 1 guy, and Charbonnet's in the number 2. So I don't know. We'll see if that changes if K9 comes back.
They've both been well. I'm just saying, like,
no, K9 didn't. K9 didn't play today. Ken Walker was injured. So he's the number 1 back. Charbonnet's the 2. So 2 became the 1, and he lit it up. So it's going to be one of those, okay, do we have a running back controversy? I don't know. We'll see how it goes if he's healthy again to play next week. We didn't know he was not going to play till yesterday. So anyway, I'm going to try to get some other calls here that are waiting as we're wrapping things up. But anyway, we'll talk again soon, man. It'll be interesting to see what happens down the stretch here with your team, the Chiefs, and gotta love football in December, man, to be part of that. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, good luck. Good luck with school the rest of the way in New York, and we'll talk again soon, man. Good luck on finals. All right. Take it easy. All right. Let's go to Harley from the 484. Is this Harley? Harley. Am I talking to Harley?
Yes. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you? Where's 484? Where's that?
Okay. I am in the Philadelphia area.
Philadelphia. Okay. Why does it sound like you're shoveling snow? Yeah, except it sounds like you're shoveling snow.
No, that's probably just interferences. But yeah, I'm an NFL fan first and an Eagles fan second.
Whoa. Okay, let's get that off.
Whoa.
All right. That was not planned. That was not planned. Okay. Let's go back to you, Harley. Okay, so you're an Eagles fan second, NFL fan first. All right, so what's on your mind?
Exactly. So, but first of all, I'm proud of you guys because you have a rookie head coach, and you had big shoes to fill with Pete Carroll being out of there, and so I'm proud of the coach. I mean, he settled the team down. You guys are winning, and Geno Smith, somebody that nobody wanted, he's doing well. He's managing the game, and I'm proud of you guys. And to me, the Cardinals are falling apart. Kyler Murray, late season is just, he's imploding, You can't be throwing the ball away. But, the Seahawks went and took it. They went and took it. Now what happens is hopefully you guys will win next week because I think the Rams are going to lose on Thursday when they go to the 49ers. I feel that's going to be a loss. And I think it's going to ease you guys' way to the division.
It would definitely help for sure if the 49ers could knock them down a peg, because that win against the Bills was huge for the Rams. But even though the thing about the Rams though is they got the 49ers, but after that their schedule gets really easy, and so that doesn't bode well for our situation. So we need that's why this Bills game was so crushing that they got the win. But it's going to be a nail biter down to the end.
Yeah, one of the things that bothered me was, Norb, the officiating. Anytime you get to these one-score games, obviously the Rams had a 4th and 5, and the right tackle was offside.
Started. I called it at the time. It was a false start. Yeah, and they took the replay. And
it was clear as day. Mm-hmm. And it was on a 4th and 5, so that affected the outcome of the game.
Big time.
Which bothers me terribly. Because you had the gambling element, and you never know. You just never know behind the scenes what's happening. We like to think our game is pure, but stuff does happen.
But I still don't understand why did the Bills? Tell me, as a fan of the sport, when the Bills when they accepted that penalty, they would have had 4th down at about the 38-yard line or wherever it was that they had it. Instead, they took the penalty, which gave them another down, and they eventually got the 1st down. I would say they should just decline it and make it 4th down, and maybe they have to kick a long field goal. But you know what I'm talking about? It was before that false start play.
Yeah. Yes.
Wouldn't that have been the right play to
because
just
you're right. Decline it? They gave them an extra down. You're right.
It was a long down in distance, but they got it. They got converted, and it bit them in the butt. I would have taken.
Because I think it would have been 4th and 7.
Yes, that's right.
If they had declined it.
Yeah, they took the penalty. They went for the 3rd and 17 and got 2 shots, and they got it. So I was like, "What are you guys doing?" And that was huge, because otherwise, even if they get the field goal and they make it, it's a 6-point game, and Josh Allen can go win it with a touchdown drive. So I didn't understand. I didn't understand that myself, but
not at all. Now, one thing I'm happy about for Bills' loss is the Bills play Detroit next week, and I'm looking for the Lions, somebody that hang another loss on the Lions that'll put my Eagles in a tie for the number 1 seed.
That's right. You guys are chasing the number 1. You guys are a game back of Detroit, right?
Exactly. So Buffalo's going to be there, and they're going to be pretty pissed off. So
when the Bills play Detroit, is it in Buffalo or is it in Detroit?
It's in Detroit.
Ooh.
In Detroit.
Okay.
So
Detroit's tough.
I'm looking for somebody to hang another loss on Detroit and see what happens, because they kind of been winning by the skin of their teeth with a couple games too.
Yeah, we almost had them. I think there was a bad. It was way back in week 4, but we got a bad call we got called for offensive pass interference on Tyler Lockett, who does not commit offensive pass interference calls. Cost us what could have been the go-ahead drive of the game, and it killed our drive there, and then ended up kind of getting out of hand. But we had a moment there where, had that call not been made, we had a 1st down. It would have been moving and potentially changed the outcome of that game. But we were hanging with them pretty good at that point. But, man, but they're tough, man. Detroit's tough at home. But, the Bills will now be, I'm sure, motivated to try to, I don't know if they were overlooking the Rams, but definitely they can't overlook the Lions now that they know that.
No, they can't. No, they can't. And also, I want to commend you guys. I mean, you guys have been drafting really well the last couple of years. Some of these draft picks have been paying off for you guys. There's Jackson Smith, your number 1 receiver. Mm-hmm. JSR, is that what you guys nickname him?
JSN.
JSN, yeah. He's really, he looks like another Baldwin.
Yes.
You guys have Baldwin. And you guys are doing really, really well.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. But listen, I wish you well.
Thank you.
And I wish you well on your journey. And, we're just trying to take one day at a time. I plug into a lot of other teams because, we're doing okay. We won by the skin of our teeth today, but I don't like reading our own press clippings. I like, going around the league and, looking at other teams and seeing what's going on with them,
All right. No, that's cool that that you pay attention to teams outside of your own. But obviously, the Eagles have got stuff going on. I just wish the Seahawks could take a page out of the Eagles playbook and just find some way to sneak the quarterback, man, when they need to get 3rd and 1. Because it's like I compare when the Seahawks get 3rd and 1, I'm scared to death because I've got PTSD that we're not going to get it because we've failed so many times this year. It's like the Eagles get 3rd and 1, you know it's coming, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. I want to have that feeling where it's like, 3rd and 1, no problem. It's just like 3rd and 1, oh my God, we're screwed. But we were better on that today, so we're getting there.
Oh yeah, that Packers game. You guys are on Sunday night next Sunday, right?
Sunday night game. Yep, next a week from now.
Okay,
exactly a week from now, we're going to be in the thick of the battle. So yeah, it's going to be a good one. I hope
that'll be great. Okay,
yeah.
But listen, I wish you guys well, and you have a great night. Okay.
All right, appreciate it. Okay. Thanks for the call, man. All right, good night.
Uh-huh.
All right, there you go. That's it. Well, I'm officially going to wrap things up. Great call nights tonight from you guys. Really good reactions, thoughts. It's going to be a battle. You know, I'm just glad we're still in it and that we're still got the edge right now because we're going to need it with this stretch of games we got coming up. Can go any way, man. We could. I don't think it's impossible to say we could go 4-0 and finish 12-5. I think it's also possible we could go 0-4 and finish 8-9. Anything could happen, but I feel like the defense has been playing solid for 5 games straight now. In a way, we're always going to have a chance. And if this team can take what running game they had today and make that a regular thing, watch out, man, because that's the one thing that's been missing all year. And that's what made this first half of this game so great. It was like, this is what a running game looks like. We haven't seen this in months. And finally, we had a day with it. Now, can we replicate that? That would be cool if something's just clicking. Maybe it's the offensive line clicking. Maybe it just took to this week to finally have it happen. But nonetheless, it's exciting that at least things are moving in the right direction. And, you know, things are just starting to fall into place. So good win today. Needed that. Glad to sweep the Cardinals again. And Packers up next. And hopefully the 12s, the Seahawks fans will jam that place up and not sell out to all the Packers fans who are trying to buy up all the tickets because we know how well they travel and how much noise they can make. So we'll find out. I will be live streaming that from the stadium, of course, so you'll get to watch it. If you want to watch the in-stadium reaction with me, just come right back here on YouTube at NorbCam, and I will be coming at you live for that game. All right. Well, that is it. But before I do sign off, I guess just say one more time to thank you to BetUS Sportsbook and Casino for sponsoring this video. If you join up and sign up now, just make sure you enter that code YouTube150. If you take advantage of that 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit and then 125% on your second and third deposits, just gives you more money to play with as you explore all the different aspects that you can do on BetUS. A lot of cool, not just odds in the games, multiple sports, events, and prop bets as well on individual players. You name it, the combinations out there. And might as well gamble with a little bit of somebody else's money and not just your own. If you do, just make sure it's legal where you come from, because it is void where prohibited, and please gamble responsibly. All right, that's it. So just wrap things up. Again, the Seahawks victorious, 30-18. Feeling pretty good about the way the season is rolling. Let's just keep it going. And Packers up next. It's going to be a fun week. More videos to come this week. And of course, culminating in the live stream next Sunday from inside Lumen Field. Till then, have a great rest of your week, and go Hawks, baby.